Compiled a list of very interesting cards to be watching here from Rarity Collection for day one. Make sure you guys smash the living crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. My advantage to being a night owl here is I get to watch cards throughout the entirety of the night. We're going to be starting off with Simone the Poison Wind. All of these are going to be quarter century secret rares, so keep that in mind. So I've actually been tracking Simone all night, and we reached the $1.99 point last night for a quarter century. Now, a little bit more in this morning here. We've actually seen Simone start to head up to the $3 range at this point, which is fairly amazing. But I wanted to give a nod here to the Blackwing players. It is $9 right now for a playset of this card. Whether or not you choose to play it or not, this is the ultimate penny stonk for day one. Like, I really do think looking at this card and looking at like everything else in the set, this checks all the crazy boxes for potential. We'll have to wait and see if it goes back down maybe to the $2 range again, but wanted to go, hey, pay attention to this because this thing has been a wild ride all night. Now, of course, this is a luxury set, but Small World is kind of something to also keep an eye on out here. I understand that you can pick your rarity and pick your luxuriousness, but the quarter centuries are the 25th anniversary collection holo, and you have a card that does check the marks for universal searchability options. Now, to be fair, Small World should probably be limited to one at some point because the card is just that insane. So you're a little bit touch and go with this, but I was kind of looking through some of the price points tonight, and we've been seeing this card bottom out $6, $7 a copy. Think about that. That is $21 for a playset of quarter century secret rares that we could see rocket back up to something a little bit more. Or on the flip side, we see it go down to the $4 range, and then you definitely look at the card and you go, wow, you know, at that point in time, I'm going to pick up some about the $4 range. But it's amazing to me how nice these quarter centuries look and the price points that we're seeing. Next up is the Winged Dragon of Raw Sphere Mode. Quarter centuries of these have been coming in at about $12 today. And for those of you that formally don't know this, most sphere modes back in the day were about $15 before this reprint. And I don't know if people see the boxes around me know that there are insane value in this set. But if you're looking at like what's going to be, I mean, like the Ghost Rare versus the quarter century, and you're looking at like $36 for a playset of these. Do I consider that the better rarity? I mean, obviously the alties and things exist, but to me, obviously, I like the Ghost a little bit more, but if you're somebody that's looking at the quarter century market for future potential, I mean, I have a feeling these are going to go a little bit lower. I would hold to see if, $10 becomes a little bit more of acceptable of a price point, maybe even $8 pushing it. All right, and then we have Herald of the Arklite. This is interesting. Market price was $30. We're down to $12, and we have no sales as of putting this video together this morning, which means we're going to go lower. Now, thinking about this, former Herald of the Arklite prices were putting it at about $6. So if we see these quarter centuries reverse course down to the $4 to $5 mark for how nice they look, yes, that's the point that I personally think it's going to be definitely worth to pick up. I honestly, I can't believe this, that Heralds have reached this point, and we're going to continue to see more and more value be shaved off of these as the day go on. I mean, the moral of this video is, as more of these cards hit the $1, $2, $3, $4 mark, then, it's definitely interesting to see if that's the consideration point to want to pick these up. Elder Entity Ints. As of filming this, the quarter centuries are down to the $13 to $14 mark. And, I'm going to be honest with you here. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for this. I think this card's going to be $8. But I wanted to do the same thing that I've been doing here in this video. Hey, you have an amazing quarter century secret that has extra deck application. I mean, obviously punishment and other things like that do exist in this set, but none of them look to me as good as, you know, ints. So that's kind of something to kind of consider here. But as an extra deck resource management, this is going to go down, 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 baby. And considering, once again, you have so many of these rarities available, I actually didn't realize it till today, holding these quarter centuries, that they are absolutely amazing. And they must be protected at all cost for how crazy good that they are. Next up is Ancient Fairy Dragon. Now this one is for all the Signer Dragon players out here. I have a feeling that this card is going to go up much later in its life. Much like we saw Stardust Dragon start to head up in price from those tins. You have the Signer Dragon collectors out here that want to have all of these in the highest rarity that they can get them in. Ghost Rares, unobtainable. Well, I can get these available in, you know, quarter century. I am almost willing to bet crazy amounts of insanity that this is going to go up strictly because of the collectors. All right, actually, as of filming this, we have been seeing sales about the $8 to $9 mark, and you have listings floating about $7 to $9, give or take. Probably by about the time this goes up, you'll see this floating about the $9 mark. So we're checking all the marks for collectability, baby. Yeah, I'm not all that surprised, honestly. Collectors, they're some of the craziest people in this game, and they will do crazy things. Trust me. Next up is Dark Ruler No More quarter century editions. You know what's crazy about this? I actually picked up some copies of these last night on TCG Player for about the $10 to $12 range. And yes, these are going up. Actually, as of filming this, we are bottoming out from the $14 that I'm seeing here to the $16 to $17 range, which means people are picking these up. This one might actually be too late, because I'll be honest with you, I was looking at these, I was like, wow, $12 to $14? Like, really? That's how low that these are. And yes, people are spending money on them right now because they're so cheap, you know. That's going to be a lot of the cases with a lot of this set. People are going to look at these staples in quarter century, because I think a lot of the community kind of agrees that quarter century feels like the highest rarity for this. I mean, don't get me wrong, collector's rares is an entirely different story. I'm kind of over it with the little sparkle that they got going on with them. So there's that. Next up is Evenly Matched, and as of filming this, these are going up too. Yay! Evenlies are heading on up. They were $23 to $24 as of filming this, and it looks like we're already heading up to about the $26, $27 range, which means, I mean, the only reason why I pulled the trigger on wanting to pick up a set of Evenlies in QCR, I was like, to be honest with you, when you're looking at the price point for them, you know, they're so cheap. You know, former Evenlies beforehand were $22. Right, to like, what, 24, 26? I don't feel bad paying the same price I paid on my secret rares to have what I feel like is a nicer rarity for these. Like, it's actually kind of insane that you could actually get the chance to do that. So we're checking some major marks with Evenly here, because I feel like that was hugely undervalued. Like, the market giving some good opportunities throughout the night here. Next up is Dimensional Barrier quarter century. As of filming this, these are $13, and I sat down earlier with myself. I was like, you know, I like my secret barriers. Obviously, there are so many versions of these that you can pick up. I was like, $40 for an extremely nice play set of barriers that you're going to probably side a lot of. And obviously, alternatives be aside, but I was like, you know, in terms of ceiling and having the chance to kind of go up overall, D-Barrier also checks all the marks that Evenly does. All right, even though, you know, Evenly will see more play overall, it's just Looming Floodgates and destructive-esque effects like that tend to be extremely good. So we're going to keep an eye on Dimensional Barrier. I think the cards definitely got some of the craziest little potential kind of going on here. Kind of like Simone, but I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised to see D-Barrier blanking out at 20 plus, just to kind of see what's going on with that. And what has the craziest potential, in my opinion? I think it's going to be Summon Limit. I think the quarter century Summon Limits, as these start to head down probably $5, $6 range, or if you know people continue to pick these up at the $7 mark, you have a card that is an extremely powerful card. Purely's been playing this for quite some time now, and the card absolutely is amazing. All right, and once again, I mean, you're looking at most things in the quarter century department back here, and then once again, you check those marks for, you know, crazy good cards that are underrated, that are in the meta, that are extremely cheap. It's kind of what we're looking at here. So what do you guys think about this list? We'll have to wait and see if I'm right or if I'm horribly wrong, but those are what the trends have been telling me from the night. So let's see what happens today. So please, comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and I'll see your beautiful faces back here later in the day, guys. Peace. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.